Oh, hello! Right. This might be a little extreme. Oh, that is enormous. Oh! How many hits? Oh my god. Looking a bit wet. Lavishly wet, if I might say so. It's going in the drink. Oh, that looks a bit damp as well. That's going to be friendly fire. What are you doing? Oh no. Friendly fire on themselves. Oh, excellent news. No. No. Ah. Burn it. I love it when the enemy gets damp. Oh, flooding is coming in. Ah, yeah. Ah. Ooh. That one's neither done. That one just went kabang. Instant gaming is fantastic. I get my games from here. The game you are currently watching is probably on here as well. All for Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, all of it. What are you waiting for? Save yourself some money. There's a link in the description of this video. Just for your convenience. Click it now. Oh, hello and welcome to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. This is another MoisTea gaming video and will be the beginning of Season 2 of my grand campaign of goodness as the British Empire. Last season we corrected the biggest mistake and invaded America and reconquered it. Currently Central America is just ungoverned territory, but I'm hoping at some point we can invade that and give them a good shafting and take all of that oil and everything else that is there, because that would be wonderful. I think we left the last season in 1894 or 95, something like that. It's been about, well, 4 years since, and I have been busy. We have built miners and are hopefully now just about finished getting them in every single port. We've still got stragglers floating around so that every port will have a minefield around it when war begins. Well, not around it when it begins, but it will start the creation of one in every single port, increasing our defense. We have many fleets. 18 currently, but 19 will be here shortly-ish. And each fleet consists of 2 battleships, 2, well, they're not heavy cruisers, but 2 bigger gunned light cruisers, 8 normal light cruisers, and 8 torpedo boats. As you can imagine, that adds up to quite a bit. Currently in total 500 ships. Maybe a good number of them are the miners, but still a good amount. Now, with the conquest of America, I'm thinking China might be on the horizon at some point. So what I need to do is go for Spain. And now I'm on the brink of war with Spain, which is wonderful. That will give me the power to invade the Philippines, which will then be able to leapfrog across. I might go for China or I might go for Japan after that. We'll have to see. If I went for Japan after Spain, that would be rather good, leaving me in a fantastic position to take out China. I'd very much like China in my own territory just because of the sheer amount of people that it possesses within its territory. And taking on China to defeat it in game will have to invade all of these ports, and it will have to be quick. The army of China is extremely huge, and as British we are a little bit scattered, so it'll have to be naval invasion on the rapid advance of goodness if that is possible. Having the Philippines and Japan would be fantastic in that scenario. Then China will be easily absorbed. Then I'm thinking maybe Russia, and then we can look at more of, well, the rest of Europe, really. As you can see, the fleet, some of the fleet is already surrounding the Spanish mainland. We have a fleet off Western Sahara. We have a fleet all the way down there. We've got a fleet on the way to up here. And there should be another one going to Cuba and such. Now we've got a rather bit more territory than last time as well. Many minor nations have been absorbed. We've captured many territories in the South Pacific. Lots of these little islands, which is great for moving our ships over to the Philippines. Very, very, very important to be able to supply, at least to a moderate degree. This could be our gateway. Other territories we have conquered, a few more bits of this. We have Peru, we grabbed that from the Americans. We now have Uruguay as well, an interesting one. The French are going for a push in this area, so that's possibly going to cause some conflict there. A few more bits of Africa are ours. As you can see, France and Germany are also pushing deeper into the African core. Recent ones, we have Iraq under our control. That's going to be rather useful later on. Hopefully we can push outwards, maybe Persia and Arabia. That would be great. We've also grabbed this area, the Trucial states, and Kuwait. Current colonial conquests that we have are Thailand. That would be rather juicy. And we have another one in Ecuador. So we're getting there. Overall, the British Empire is looking quite good. We have a rather large GDP. France is about 2/3 of us, but if they were to combine with, say, Germany, which at the moment they are best of friends, then I might be in a spot of bother. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I want access to China. I want them out of the situation, and I want their people. Currently, I see them as the biggest threat to my territorial gains. If I was to go to war with them immediately, I would lose India from army invasion, and I would not be able to do anything about it. They have already pushed into Tibet, and are now pushing into Afghanistan as well. So, yeah, I'd lose India, and that's not very good. As it was once known, the duel. Other politics. Germany, we somehow keep managing to become best friends with them, but when it comes to asking them for an alliance, they always go, yeah, nah, I'm alright. Which, fair enough. The Italians as well, don't seem to be interested, so we're on our own. Russia has had a few revolutions, but has managed to keep itself in one piece at least. Serbia has gone nuts. They went a bit mad against Hungary. However, Romania is now on the charge and is now attacking Serbia. So Austria, we'll just go for Austria, is a little bit meh. They're not doing great. To be completely honest, they're not really friendly with anybody at the moment neither. They're probably going to get absorbed by somebody soon. That is pretty much where we are at. And the fleet itself hasn't been touched. I wanted to keep all of that in this new series as that was requested. So no refits have been done since 1890, since the ships were first done. Now technology has progressed a significant way since. The hull strengthening, we should now have a Battleship 2 hull. Armour quality is vastly superior. Control stations, so targeting is going to be a little bit better. I'm actually pushing for this, we seem to be a little bit behind. Internal protections, we've got a few of them done out of the way. We have rather much... Ooh, I might push for that as well. Better range on the torpedoes. To be fair, we might not get that one in time. But no, things are better. Things are a lot better. Everything needs a refit so we can use these new technologies. Once everything is then refit, I'm probably going to start looking at new fleets. There's also the thing of potentially building new ships anyway, simply because we are going to take losses and I don't see the point in replacing them with the old tech. I might as well get a couple of new fleets on the go, and then we've just got a few spare ships. Seems like a jolly good plan. If you did watch Season 1, thank you for watching that, and I do hope that you enjoy this just as much. If you do have any requests, let me know in the comments or on the Discord. There's a link to all of that shabazz in the bottom of this video. And before we carry on, do like the video if you can. That helps me fantastically, enormously good. Whatever that means. So let's quickly go through the ships that we currently have and have not been touched since 1890. Now, all of them, big thing, is the engine efficiency is shockingly shit. It's awful, and that is because they had the rubbish steam engines of crapness and natural boilers. With the refit, all engines will be replaced for something vastly superior, which is excellent. All guns will be improved, all the general technology is going to be better. I mean, come on, we're still running brown powder and black gunpowder, which is the stuff that you get out of, well, an 19th century cannon, you know what I mean? Now, I built all of these ships as a case of numerical supremacy. I needed things to be cheap. This battleship, for example, only costs 25 million. I've got a few of them, and we need vast amounts of fleets. The game in its current state that I'm playing on, and probably the new one as well, there has been an update since, but I can't play that now, otherwise I'll lose this save, which is just no. But convoys. Convoys are a bastard. If you cannot protect yours, you get shafted. But if you can defeat the enemies, and you can smash their economy sideways, and give them a thorough spanking. So numerous ships are required, and that's what we've gone for. So cheap mass production of ships has been the way forward. Hopefully we can now increase their engine efficiency drastically and various other improvements and make them all much better at protecting our convoys. So we shall start with the Salmon. We are still running on coal, but natural boilers is now going to be replaced with induced boilers. Yes, the maintenance cost is going to go up no matter what we do. Smoke interference does go up, but oh my god, the engine's efficiency has just skyrocketed. Then we replace a basic steam engine with a, yeah, there we go, triple expansion steam engine, and it's so much better. We save weight, and it's just, yeah. So we need less funnels. Excellent. So engine efficiency, I'm going to aim for 110%. Anything more seems a bit of a waste. So we can get that easily with this dual funnel 1. Or if we wanted to save weight, we can get 2 standard funnels. That will probably also save space. Excellent. And we've got even more. Oh, there you go. 2 standard funnels do the job. We have 112%. That will do me. And now look at all this extra space. First of all, other improvements. Gun cotton replacing the black powder. Much better in every aspect. The damage is increased. Yes, the ship might blow up, but it's worth it. And the propellant, currently brown powder. I'm going to go for ballastite on everything. Now, yes, this is a more unstable version of gunpowder. However, it does do more damage. The flash fire chance is reduced, actually, compared to white powder. But once it gets going, there's more chance of it spreading. So I'm going to risk it. Still got the increased shell rounds. We need that on all ships. The enhanced reloading. Now, we've only got 1 gun on here currently. I might swizzle that. Also, the torpedoes in these have been rather excellent. But now the range has been increased from 0.9 kilometers to 1.5. Various research technologies have helped them along the way as well, which is wonderful. We can increase the size of them. Bigger bang is excellent. It is a torpedo boat after all. Now when you're doing a refit, you can't fiddle with the displacement. You can fiddle with the beam and the draft, but I'm going to leave it as it is on all vessels. Just because it will eat away at the weight, and we'll just keep this variation of ships as they are. The crew, I'm going to keep them at cramped as well. We've got that many ships. Replacing crew is a nightmare. So how do we increase this further? Well, we can stick more gun on it. More torpedoes might be good. That is their main use. If I could potentially maybe double them up down here. Ooh, that's nice. Now the question is, do I do a 5 block like this, or do I mix it up slightly? We've got a bit of 4 weight. I could shuffle the engines a little bit down. That way a lot of the weight is more sat in the middle. I could then replace these a little bit down here. Oh, that could be worth it. There we go. It looks a little odd, but not bad though. Nicely balanced. Looking at the main towers, we can actually stick a bigger tower on there. This is a front tower. I can't really see it because of all the other shabazz in the way. But that looks like it will probably more go on a destroyer. Now, sticking a bigger one of these on, yes, it would do it good. However, is it necessary? I'm not too sure. I'm not entirely convinced. I'll be adding to the value considerably. Let's have a go. So we had a front tower 1. Them are the stats. This is a front tower 4. Them are the stats. It is actually significantly better. They might survive a bit better. For the sake... Oh, see, it's a big jump. We might just do it. We've got the extra room. We've got the extra space. I might just put it on. If we manage to save a few more of these ships, just from the survivability alone, it probably will be worth it. So yeah, we'll give it a go. Looking a little bit more like it now. Slight problem. This is significantly heavier, which I completely forgot to consider. So we'll go for the front tower 3. That just about works. Now, previously I kept behind 2%, but I'm not going to bother with that. That was more due to design defects. I just can't be bothered doing that anymore. It'll be fine. If it's a bit shafted, then it's going to be shafted no matter what we do. But there we have it. This is going to be the main refit. We've still only got the 1 gun. However, this is now a Mark II gun. We have improved it by having a front tower 3, which will improve all the smoke interference and tower spotting and all the other good shabazz. Generally good. Same amount of torpedoes. Oh, no, it's not. We've got an extra torpedo on. However, they are now 16 inches. Engine efficiency has doubled. We've saved weight. The propellant is good. The gun cotton is good. Overall, a solid improvement. I think we'll be happy with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next we have the Castor. This is a torpedo cruiser. As you can see, it's rather compact and is incredibly small at only 871 tonne. Costing 1.5 million. Well, it's now reduced because of technology. But let's see what we could do with this. So, same thing goes. We'll keep all of this shabazz as is. First things first, induced. Ah, goodness. We'll replace the engines and stick a triple expansion steam engine in. Excellent. Now, this immediately means we can knock a few of these funnels on the head, which saves space and weight. Looking for 110%, we can fiddle with that later. The armour, we can replace it from a compound to nickel steel. This reduces weight and increases the girth. Not by much, there's not much armour on it, but it will help. New technology we have. Standard bulkheads, now we have reinforced bulkheads. This will drastically reduce the flash fire chance and spreading and all that lot. We had plenty of flash fires last time, even though the flash fire chance is actually quite low on these. We'll have to look at that in a moment. Anti-flooding though, ooh, that is a good one. That cost us more than anything else, so we're definitely going to get that on. That didn't even affect the weight really or anything. Well, that will give us a 10% water pumping. big difference, and 15% ship repairs on flooding, again, massive difference. We already had the Citadel. Now, again, Balisite, we'll go for that. Gun cotton, we'll go for that. Torpedoes, we will increase these to the 16 inches. I do have the option to go for the fast ones, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'd rather have numbers. They have 2 launches on the port and starboard each, and 1 on the bow and stern. Should be enough. If I go for fast, there's more chance of them hitting, but the range is reduced by 25%, and the range is a big thing. I can deter many ships that are coming at me from getting too close and launching their own, because their range should be less than mine. So I'm counting on that, so as stick it standard. Now, new piece of equipment, rangefinder. Gun aiming speed plus 70%. That is rather good. And gun base accuracy is increased as well. Yes, please. Armour overall, we can't really tickle that. But all the guns are now going to be Mark IIs, which is a vast improvement. One thing I might do, I could potentially increase the amount of torpedoes on board. I suspect we're probably going to be firing more of them given the new range, so that seems logical. One thing that was majorly lacking was accuracy. Now, that could be helped by replacing the tower. We've only got a minimal tower 1, and those are the stats. Now, this is a minimal tower 4. And that is significantly better. I don't think we're going to get a front tower 1 on there, really, without losing all of the gun. Looking at it, the minimal tower 4 is better anyway. The front tower, which is the taller one, that is better at reducing the smoke interference and a little bit of damage control. But everything else is better on the minimal tower. That's interesting. Looks like we're going for that. That also means we get to keep the good arc of fire on the forward cannon as well. Now for the rear one, that is also a number 1, which is crap. So that's the stats for the 1, very pitiful. The rear, much better. Does cost a considerable amount more, but we're trying to go for a bit more survival these days now that we have the numbers built up. That is generally what I'm going to be going for. Now that we do have the numbers, the extra money from conquest and GDP growth is hopefully going to be going on improvements rather than more of them. We've got plenty of ships now. Playing with the funnels, this seems to be how I'm going to get it on the engine efficiency that I want at around 110%. Slight problem, there's a big 4-weight disadvantage on this ship currently, so I might need to shuffle around a little bit more. Well, that is that. All the guns have been upgraded to Mark II. We've still got some weight to spare. We can't stick any more torpedoes on it. Further the fiddleage, this funnel arrangement seems to work better with the current guns. So to increase the goodness of this further, I'm thinking we might as well stick some casemate guns in. Oh, that's heavy. There we go, I fiddled with it. We've managed to stick some 2-inch guns on there. Again, Mark IIs, so it's got more firepower. It's a lot more efficient. Having the better bridges will make a huge improvement. We've got a little bit more armour on the conning tower and everything else. So, yes, good improvement. The anti-flood and the bulkheads will make... not the bulkheads, we've not done that. But the improved armour and everything else is much, much better. And now we have the Champion class. This is a light cruiser which is to supplement the firepower of the battleship. Seen as the hulls for the armoured cruisers, or the heavy cruisers at the time, were a bit shit. So this is what we came up with. 2 fat 7-inch guns on the thing. It looks enormous, it really is, but it is what it is. Now, unfortunately, We do not have the Mark II for these, which is a little bit of a disaster. However, this ship can be improved significantly still. All of the extra weight went on these, meaning it lacks in many areas. But again, for another time, we'll stick induced boilers on there and replace all of the engine, and immediately we have a huge amount of goodness. We can replace one of the funnels entirely, swap that all the way down there. The 4 weight offset is vastly improved. We've got a lot more weight to play with, and the engine efficiency is doubled. Anti-flooding, definitely. The flash fire chance on this ship is higher than the other ships, so I'm definitely going to be sticking on a reinforced bulkhead. That does reduce it a little bit. The improved armour, nice. Now then, ballistite as well. We'll improve the torpedoes with 16 inches. We'll stick on some gun cotton. A rangefinder, yes. Now, these didn't really use the torpedoes, but occasionally they did. These just sat in line with the battleships. They do have one bow and stern, and one on the port and starboard. I don't think we'll need to increase the number of torpedoes. We can go for enhanced reloading though, that's probably a good thing. Now, accuracy is always a thing. This has a front tower 1 on it. This is what we could have stuck on the other one, but we can't stick the minimal towers on these. So we'll swap that out. There is the stats for the front tower 1. That is the stats for a front tower 3. Oh, much better. Much better. Accuracy alone is improved. A little bit more expensive, however, definitely worth it, seeing as what we are doing. We also have a rear tower 1 on it. Again, that is that. And we're going to swap it out for a rear tower 3. I think that is actually the same one that is on the torpedo cruiser. I could be wrong. Oh, I think I am wrong. That is significantly bigger, I think. Seeing as these did lack total number of guns, torpedo boats did get close occasionally. So, having some little guns on it, we can finally do that. Some 2-inch guns on there. Can we squeeze some more on? Maybe not. Oh, but we can in casemate form. There we go. And we had some on that one as well already. What are them? I don't know, but we've got them on there. There we go. Excellent. Now, it would appear we actually have a bit of room to play on this one. So we could make the 7-inch gun even bigger. We could definitely do with a little bit more armour on it. But then again, no, actually. This gun, when fired, and then we've gone for the heavy rounds as well. At extreme ranges, it's 0.4 inches worth of armour. We've got 0.5 on. We've got the Citadel armour in there as well. It will be fine at that. Disaster! I've just realised. I've got different shells. Oh no! We could have gone for a armour-piercing capped shell. The damage is reduced, but we can penetrate more. To be fair, I think we'll be alright. We've also got the option for the high explosive round as well. We can have more penetrating high explosive ones. No, I think we'll be okay. I thought I made an absolute blunder there. We'll leave them as they are. We can stick on Babette 2. We've got the weight space for it. Currently there's a flash fire chance of 16%. That helps. Still got some room to play with, really. Casemate armor on the 2 inches, we can increase that a little bit. Babette thickness on the 7-inch guns, that has improved. The conning tower. Oh, that's much better. Honestly, we're kind of struggling. We've got extra weight, and I can't really find a use for it. We can upgrade these to 3-inch on the casemates. Yeah, that does it. There you go, that's a bit better. We improved this on-deck cannon to a 3-inch cannon as well. We're pretty much there on this one now. I can't squeeze any more on, unfortunately, so that is what it is. The 4-way offset is acceptable. That'll have to do. Extra weight, I've just stuck a little bit more armour on. That is that. And now we have the battleship. We had a number of these explode, which wasn't very good. See if we can alleviate some of these problems. If engine efficiency is also rubbish, we'll swap out the funnels and the engines. Nice. We can now replace that with one funnel, a dual funnel. Very small, but that gets us bang on 110. Overall, the weight is reduced significantly. Nice. We'll get the anti-flooding on there. We'll get the bulkheads on there. We'll get the Babette 2 on there. The improved armour. I could go for a double bottom hull on these. They are the biggest ship, most valuable. And when they get torpedoed, it's a bit of a bastard. So yeah, we'll go for that. Torpedo flooding chance is reduced. The overall resistance is increased. That is good. Now, brown powder again replaced with balisite. Black powder replaced with gun cotton. Torpedoes not really a big thing on this, but we've got them on anyway. More of a deterrence than anything. We'll have the rangefinder on. Yeah, we've done all that. Armour itself, yeah, we'll leave that for the time being. A lot of these casemates are 2 inches. It's actually quite hard to find them. Yeah, that is more to deal with torpedo boats and such. We've got 4 inches on the bow and stern. Now, these 9-inch gun, they are now graded to Mark II, but do I go for 10-inch? They do significantly more pain upon the enemy. However, the 10 inches will reload 10 seconds slower. Just by having these upgraded to Mark II as it is, they reload about 10%, well, 10 seconds maybe, quicker than the Mark 1s. They are more accurate. They do more damage in general. I have the armor quality penetration data set to 40%. So that, at point blank, will go through 15.2 inches of armor. Now, the engagement range is probably going to increase. We're looking more later on, and that only goes to 11 inches. So really, no, that is not good enough. We're going to have to increase these to Mark II. Oh, it's not too bad. 10-inch gun. Nice. That is not as heavy as what I thought it was going to be. That is good. Now at 5,000 it will go through 13.1. If we really wanted to, we could go up to 11 inches. That will pretty much guarantee going through. We are up to Mark II on the tech with that, but I still want to go more with the rapid reload than that. More because hitting the target in this stage of the game is still a bastard. Didn't realise I did this, but we actually already have the best tower on this. What about the secondary? Rear tower 3. Ooh, we don't have the best one on that. But is that because this one doesn't fit? Yes, it is. That would be why. So we already had the good towers on. Okay. So to improve this further then, immediately I'm looking at armour. We have the big guns to destroy the other battleships. That's their main purpose anyway. We have a lot of smaller guns which are now all upgraded to Mark IIs to take out any smaller vessel which might think about being a bit of a dick, i.e. torpedo boats. Armour. Get these things surviving a bit more. Now we have replaced these to 10 inches. The armour's gone all a bit skew with. Looking at the main deck, stats, 10,000 meters is probably the other thing. You might get an extremely lucky shot with that. And that has a pen of 1.1. So we're fine at what we are. Hitting the turret itself might be a problem, so we need to increase that. We'll reduce the top armor on it to 1.5. They're not going to get through it. The maximum it will allow me to put on is 14 inches. So yeah, if we hit an enemy turret and it's maximum armoured up, well, if we were to be hit by our own gun at 5,000 meters, we'd be okay. Bear in mind the shape of this. It does bounce other ammunition rounds off it quite well, but I'd rather these not go pop. We've had a few of them go pop in the previous one. We need these protected. Everything else in the main belt, perhaps. Managed to get it to 11 inches. We've stuck a little bit more on the aft belt. Kind of levels it out a little bit. But yes, that is that. This is the cheapest of the cheap mining ship I could possibly build. It is legitimately as cheap as it could possibly get. It's shit. It's not built for combat, it's only built for laying mines. Now I could refit this to a layer 2, which will double the mine laying capacity. I think that's worth it. That is all that this does. Sits there in not in combat. And that is all the ship refits done. Now we will inevitably take losses. And I don't want to be building any more of the old generation of ship, which consists of the Battleship 1, which is this. Now we can now go up to a Battleship 2, which is better already, or the Semi-Dreadnought. That is getting there now. This thing is designed to have many guns on it, as you can see. Oh, one piece of tech that I've completely forgot about. We can have dual cannon on the secondaries of all of these. That is nice. If I were to start replacing battleships and things, it would look something like this with current tech. The armoured cruiser would look something like this. This is now actually a viable design. We have the engine efficiency that we need. It's still relatively cheap in comparison to a battleship, but it has the firepower, which is what we want just to supplement it. Now, I've not tickled any of this crap, but it would replace the Champion-class, which has those 7-inch guns on it, with a 9-inch gun on a smaller ship, legit just to supplement firepower. So that is that. Now for the torpedo light cruiser, that is what we... Where is it? That is it. Oh no, they've got rid of it now. It must be obsolete. Oh, okay. Well, we have the Light Cruiser 1, the Light Cruiser 2, which is significantly better as a whole platform. Or we could go to this semi-armoured cruiser. Looking at stats, this thing will survive a punch a hell of a lot more than the previous designs that we have. However, this thing is a lot less sturdy. I mean, seaworthy, should I say. It's slower. But speed hasn't always been our big thing anyway. The torpedo boats have done that job. Because these are going to cost more in general though, having more survivability for the cost is probably a bit of a must. As it stands at the moment anyway, I do not have the allowed max tonnage to be able to make this into a viable design. So that might be off the cards. I don't think I'm going to get there in time. Which means, to replace the torpedo cruisers, we're probably going to be looking at a Light Cruiser 2 hull. As these are actually significantly faster anyway, which would be nice. That will look something like that, very similar, but speedier, more survivable, and everything else. However, it would appear that there is sufficient evidence that I am lacking weight allowance in cruisers, so I might need to change technology priorities just to boost that. Torpedo boats, I can whack them up to 500 ton, but I don't really see the point. I could go absolutely mental if I really wanted to. Get rid of that crap. And give it some, just stupid amount of torpedoes. You know, something a bit silly like this. But, again, I don't really see the benefits currently. Honestly, I think the best improvements at the moment would be this armoured cruiser, which is excellent. I actually really like this. Might have to start getting a few of these. And maybe replacing the champion class that we have with these. We'll have to see how we get on with that. And this battleship design is actually just flung together. It's not finished, but you get the idea. And it's quite... I just really like the look of it, I think, to be honest with you. It's quite nice. Is it a significant enough improvement, though? I'm not too sure at this point. We might just have to wait that one out. I definitely do like this armoured cruiser, though. That is a vast improvement over the previous design, which is this. Could be curious now. You'll have to decide what to do in the next episode. For now, we better start rejigging all of these. As it is, I've got many fleets in positions ready to go. A few of them are still getting there. But I do have a few fleets which I have just sat along the coast ready to be refurbed. With the current tonnage, it's going to cost around 70,000 tons worth of tonnage allowance to get 2 fleets done at the same time. So I'm definitely going to have to watch for that. I'm probably going to have to tell the Ottoman Empire to bugger off for a bit. They keep buying ships off me. Yes, I know I wanted their territory, but I can't help the alliances with minor nations, and somehow that happened. Despite them shagging Egypt a bit as well, we've now got alliance with both of them. We also have the Netherlands. So there is all that to come. I'll get the refits beginning. The war is legit on the brink of happening. As you can see, 97. I don't think they're in an alliance with France. They could be. If they are, shit is gonna hit the fan and it's gonna be a royal mess. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll have to find out in the next episode. Before I disappear, please do like the video. The first episode of the playlist really is important, so please like the video now if you could, and everything else that you want to do to it, that'll be fantastic. If you don't like it, dislike it. That helps me out as well. Leave comments on your thoughts on the designs. I personally really want the armoured cruiser. I'm probably going to replace all of the champion class and get that shabazzled. We've got lots of miners still making their way over there. Hopefully we'll have full coverage of miners before war begins. But yes, things are happening. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you probably in a minute in episode 2. Ta-ra for now. I'm glad you liked that one. There's more of that on your screen right now. Make sure that you tickle that before you disappear and hit the like button. That makes me rather excited, and if you hit the subscribe button, I'll be even more excited. Don't forget about the links in the description. There's plenty of good things in there, from a Discord link to instant gaming links and all of that shabazz. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra for now.